Vayamos juntos.
A new presidential cycle is beginning for Venezuelans. The election will decide who will be the president of the country for the next 6 years. It's due to take place this year, though the exact date has not yet been set.
We'll sign 2 separate agreements.
Ongoing negotiations between the government and the opposition have impacted the electoral roadmap. The governments of Mexico and Barbados hosted both sides for talks last year. And other nations, such as the United States, are holding direct conversations with Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro.
The role of the United States is paramount in this electoral process. The negotiations that the government is having with the Biden administration on a bilateral basis is ultimately based on the search for a democratic election.
These talks have brought about changes in U.S. policy towards Venezuela, including the easing of oil sanctions and prisoner swaps. At the end of 2023, Venezuela released 10 Americans in return for Colombian businessman Alex Saab, one of Maduro's closest allies, who faced prosecution in a Florida court.
Le doy la mayor importancia.
But the proposed changes in U.S. policy may not be enough for the Venezuelan president, who's demanding the lifting of all sanctions without conditions.
Elecciones libres en Venezuela. Claro que sí.
They talk about free elections in Venezuela. Of course they do. 2024, of course. And we say free elections in Venezuela. Yes, as always. But this time, elections free of sanctions.
So far, one of the main obstacles has been to agree on minimum standards for a free and fair election. Key issues are in discussion, such as the votes of Venezuelans living abroad, the participation of electoral observers, and most importantly, that any candidate can join without exclusion. Many opposition leaders have been exiled or banned from running for office, like presidential hopeful Maria Corina Machado. She won a primary vote last October, but she has been disqualified from holding public office for 15 years for alleged corruption. A ruling from Venezuela's Supreme Court is pending to find out if she would be allowed to register as a candidate. Both government and opposition supporters are eager to back their leaders.
We are going to fight for Maria Corina Machado, who is the candidate of the unity, the candidate of the opposition sector, to be our standard bearer and the next president of Venezuela.
Here, we, the Chavistas, have only one candidate, Nicolás Maduro, and we don't know about the opposition because they have never agreed among themselves.
And although the date of polling day is still unconfirmed, it is believed that the election could take place in the second half of the year. Maritrini Mena, CGTN, Caracas.